So today here we have the SRT8 Challenger and we're going to take it for a ride. Come along, let's see what it's all about. Welcome back everybody. So today we're going to do a little review on a SRT8 Dodge Challenger. And when we're all done with this, can you please stick around, maybe comment, like, share, and again, subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe, it tells me you're interested in the comments and the material that I'm providing, and you might be interested in hearing more. I will be providing a lot more videos and information down the road. The channel's still young, but we're building. So again, please subscribe and tell all your friends. Let them know, come on down, have a look at Exotic Car Play Place. So, as I was saying, so moving right along, today we're reviewing the SRT8 Dodge Challenger. With this car, we have the 20-inch rims. I'll just describe how it's fitted in this particular setup. We don't have the manual 6-speed gearbox, which is available in this car. We do actually have the 5-speed automatic, which is the other option in this car for a transmission. It does have the 6.1 liter V8 Hemi engine, and with this, that car is rated at about 425 horsepower and about 420 foot-pounds of torque. So the SRT8 package here is, again, in this particular car, for this vintage, is the top of the line. Now, I just thought I'd share with you today my overall thoughts on this car. This is the first time I've gotten to drive this car, the SRT8, again, Challenger. First time in this car, I was actually quite impressed. You know, with 425 horsepower, 420 foot-pounds of torque, it is not lacking in power. But I find those numbers a little deceiving because, you know, I've driven cars on the Italian side that have, you know, arguably more or the same horsepower, and they don't feel as fast. They don't feel as punchy as this car. When you hammer down, this has the instant thrust. That V8, that large displacement V8 power just gets this car moving in a hurry. So I was really actually quite impressed by the performance of this car. Now, I haven't driven the Hellcat yet. That's definitely something that's on my chart and my list to do here in upcoming days. But for now, the SRT8 at 425 horsepower is all that I would say most people need. Now, with this, of course, there's a lot of good things, a lot of bad things in driving these cars. I find, generally speaking, you know, the cars are quite large. They're, you know, they do handle well, they do brake well, they accelerate well. But at the end of the day, this is not a supercar. This is not a race car. This is a high-performance street car. And it does everything quite well. But if you expect it to take it to the track and race it in some dedicated race series, you probably want to look somewhere else. This car has, like I said, a lot of competition type equipment on board, but it doesn't necessarily put it together in a way that would make this car competitive with, say, like a Ferrari or a Porsche or something like that. So, back to the story. With this car, you know, we've taken it out for a run. With the 425 horsepower that we described already, this we already clocked it at 0 to 60 mile per hour time. So 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. We clocked this car at 4.6 seconds, even with the automatic. Now the quarter mile was 13 seconds flat. Now, I don't know if you guys can think back, ways back, a stock Porsche 930 is 13.3 second quarter, 5 second 0 to 60. That would make this quicker than a Porsche 930. This would make this quicker than a lot of cars on the street today. This is actually very competitive with a Ferrari 360 and almost on the heels of a 996 twin turbo Porsche. So for those people that think this isn't good enough, it isn't sporty enough, you could pretty much give just about any, you know, yesterday's supercar a run for its money. So that being said, again, back to the review here. Now, driving this car, I noticed it's very compliant. I was actually really surprised. It feels stiff, it feels rigid, but it's quite compliant. When you hit the bumps, it actually eats them up a lot better than previous cars. For example, an M5, which feels equally stiff, but not quite as compliant. That car feels every ridge. This car here, you actually, it feels it's kind of softened up, so you don't actually feel like you're beating up the car too bad. And you know, as such, it makes the car overall a lot more agreeable, really. So its overall ride quality is very, very good in this thing. Performance is very strong. I did notice also in the trunk, so if you're looking in the trunk space, so these cars, you've got to remember, they're made for regular people doing regular things on regular days of the week. So you've got back seats here that have room for, you know, there's plenty of room anyway for you and the family, or you, the wife, maybe the kids, whatever you have, or a couple of buddies. There's a lot of room back there. There's also a ton of room in the trunk. The trunk has loads of room here. You can fit the golf clubs, hockey equipment. You can pretty much do just about anything back there. You could probably just about have a picnic back in the trunk there. So, and you'll notice it also has the kicker speaker in there. So the one thing I thought I'd comment on is the speaker in this car, or the stereo. I shouldn't say the speaker, the stereo. It all kind of culminates together. But the stereo in this car is actually very, very good. So, you know, like I said, when I got in this car, my expectations were somewhat lower. But after spending some time in it, I realized that, you know, you're not lacking in performance. You know, you've got all the creature comforts. This car is loaded. We've got leather in the interior here. We've got Alcantara inserts in the seats. I see it's got cruise control here, tilt, power seats. The car is as loaded as you could expect. It even has a sunroof. So, long and short of it is, would I suggest a car like this? You know what? 100%. I would. Would I buy one for myself? I don't know. We'll see. I might spend a little more time, and I'll let you know. I'm going to follow this video up as well with some more videos on my love and hate series, and kind of describe specific things that I loved about it and specific things that really pissed me off about this car. So the long and short of it is, would I buy this? Yeah, I probably would. You know what? I'd probably like to try out the Hellcat and see if that's a better compromise. I mean, obviously a Hellcat goes a hell of a lot faster in a straight line. But, you know, the word has it, a lot of that power just poof is gone, wasted into smoke. Because you can't even use it, you can't put it down. I've seen recent clips and recent reviews that show a 400 horsepower 911 Carrera S actually accelerates quicker to the quarter mile than a Hellcat on full steam there at 700 horse. So how do those numbers not add up? Well, you know, obviously it just burns a lot of tire. So this car here, I would say, is probably a little better compromise. You've got the 425 horsepower V8. You can break loose at will, but you're getting a lot better traction, a lot less likely to just burn off some rubber. So at the end of the day, I love this car for its looks, its classic styling. You know what, at first the looks weren't really kind of, you know, from a distance, from a glance, I wasn't necessarily in love with the looks. But after taking a closer look at the car, taking it out for a drive, kind of walking away from the car, taking a closer look, like I said, you know, I can come to appreciate the style. It actually has a lot of interesting shapes to it. And the fact that they've plumped out the wheel arches with fat tires here that run flush with the fenders makes the car look very mean. The stripes on the front of the car just totally give it that extra, you know, that racy style. So for a guy that really wants something that's flashy, goes like hell, and, you know, still kind of reminisces a little bit of yesteryear with the muscle car from, you know, the 60s, this does a great job. It does a great job for everything. You know, you could say it's relatively practical. You know, it performs well, and it won't break the bank. So the long and short of it, would I buy this car? Yes. And again, can I summarize? Please subscribe, like, comment. I hope you enjoyed the video, and there will be others to follow. Thanks again.